Vanessa from Positive Parenting Tips and Strategies. Today I'm talking to you about holidays because this is the season, this is the holiday season, and it's very, very stressful. I know this. I was a single mum of 4 kids, so it's true, it's valid, but let's think about ways we can reduce your sense of dread. My big tip really is to prepare and plan ahead. So I'm going to give you a list of tips that are very practical and useful for you to just overall reduce stresses during this holiday period, because it's a difficult time when everybody's together. So the first thing, aim to keep it simple. It's very, very easy to overcomplicate things, to try and overachieve. You want to create the magic of Christmas for children, which I understand, but kids are very, very excited anyway, and to them it is all magical. So when you're thinking about how lovely it was for you as a kid, or perhaps you're thinking that it wasn't lovely and you want to create the opposite for your children, just remember that you don't have to go overboard, because it is all just a wonderful time for them. One of my tips is to keep your routines. Children, remember, they don't actually know what's happening. You're the ones in charge. So if you keep to the routines, they've got that basic structure of what's happening, and that just keeps them flowing through the day, rather than the whole day being a bit of a mystery and they just don't know what's happening next. If you plan ahead and think about activities for your children to do, and I don't just mean trying to create exciting things, but children need to be entertained. Bored children will create their own entertainment. So what you need to think about all the things that your kids like to do. So this is the normal things that they do, and obviously also you'll put in some special things for Christmas. Now, best advice is to sit down and make a list. And you can do this with your child. Every child is different, so you can't prescribe to them what their entertainment's going to be. You want it to be something that they enjoy. So sit down with them, get them to brainstorm and make a list. And then you've got that ready list at hand. When you're in the middle of something and your child doesn't know what to do, or they're bored, or they're creating chaos, you've got the list, you can go to the list. So this is planning and making it easier when you get into that. Now, another big planning is food. So it's very, very easy to get caught up with all the treats of Christmas. Unfortunately, all these treats are sugar, and you're just going to hype your children up. So I know it's very, very tempting to treat them, but they don't need half the treats that you've got for them. So cut it right down, because all you're doing is loading them with sugar, probably reducing the good, healthy food. And that leads me on to the next tip. Don't let them get overtired. Don't get overtired yourself, because overtired just makes everything harder. So you want to keep your children's bedtime routines. Obviously, sometimes there's things going on at Christmas and it does mess up the routine. Try and get back on track as soon as possible, because a tired child is just going to be chaos and hectic. And put that together with your tiredness, or at least your stress, and you have not got a good combination. So keep the bedtimes as much as you can to prevent your children from being tired. Now, at Christmas, quite often we've got a lot to fit in, and there's a lot of time frames. Try to be flexible. Try not to be too rigid, because everything's a little bit different, and you can put a lot of pressure on yourself by trying to stick to some time frames. So keep some flexibility so that you don't stress and you don't have to rush. With all the things going on at Christmas, do involve your children. Let them help you make lists. Let them help you plan things. That will make them feel special. They'll be involved, and it gives them a lovely sense of responsibility, and that you trust them. Even from a young age, you can be starting to do this and involving them. And one more thing is, it's quite a hard time because families are together for a big space of time. So fallouts are really, really likely. So don't stress about them. Just accept them as part of it. It's part of the learning. So if a fallout happens, don't make everything worse by being stressed that there was a fallout. Just, it is what it is, and move on. Now, let's talk about you. Wouldn't it be lovely if you had a bit of a break? I know. You think, how is that going to happen? Well, you know what? You can actually book it in. And I mean as little as 10 minutes even. Book it in with yourself, tell your kids, and do it guilt-free. Don't feel bad that you're taking time for yourself, because actually that nullifies the whole thing. Be prepared to ask for help. You may be like me, I didn't really have anyone to ask, but think about it. Think about who you can ask. Ask and then list as much help as you can. And it not only helps you, but it just gives you that feeling of support as well, which is so invaluable. And also it helps to reduce your responsibility. Now, another big thing at Christmas is money. Do not try to overstretch yourself financially. Work out your budget, and you don't even have to spend your budget. You can have a really good Christmas and provide a really good Christmas for your kids that's fun, enjoyable and magic without spending heaps of money. I know kids always want things and they will want more and more and more, but you don't have to provide them. And you can explain to them that this is your budget. There will always be a child who has something more or something better. And there's always children who have less, but your kids will compare to those who had more. So just stay firm with your boundaries, because your kids will always want more and more and more. And the worst thing you want to do is to overstretch your budget financially and then struggle for the coming months. So in summary, plan ahead and prepare to make your holiday season as fun or least stressful as possible. Don't try and overachieve and put in many special things. Do not expect perfection. Don't worry about fallouts. And try and book in some little times for yourself to have guilt-free time for yourself. And remember, you're doing your best. Have a good season. Thank you for listening.